Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Sydney. I film beauty videos 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Hopefully Sunday, since I'm off school, I have a little more time to film and edit now. But let's get into today's video. So today's video is going to be an update, finally, of my singles shake-up series that I started on my channel. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I probably started that series like 2 or 3 months ago with the intention of updating it monthly, and I kind of just didn't. Life got a little crazy. I had to take a bunch of breaks. It was, I don't want to talk about it, but today I'm so excited to be bringing you guys an update. So for those of you who didn't catch the intro video, which will be linked down below for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, this series is all about me kind of getting more use out of my single shadows. I kind of went on a single shadow craze over the past year or so, and I just feel like I'm really not getting enough use out of them. So this is kind of a way that I am creating color combinations with my singles and getting some more use out of them. So I want to reflect really quickly on last month's palette. I will scooch over a little bit and I'll insert a picture of the palette right here because it has been long since dismantled. Like I said, I started this series a couple of months ago, so it's been a while since I've kind of like said, oh, I'm gonna do another one. I did actually like keep this palette intact for like a month and a half, maybe 2 months, and I used it a ton. It was a really great palette to work with, but eventually I'm like, you know what, I really want to try something else. So I put together a palette, decided I didn't like it, and then I put together this palette and I absolutely adore it, you guys. I'm so excited to share this one with you. Back to last month's palette. So as you guys might be able to tell, I kind of created this with the Natasha Denona Gold palette in mind. I really love the color story that that palette has, so I wanted to create something similar for myself out of stuff that I already had, and I feel like I definitely created some very similar looks to what I could have gotten with the gold palette. Of course, I did add some more greens in my palette, but yeah, I created some really cool looks, which hopefully will have been flashing right here for you guys to see throughout the month. I saved them. And I also did on my Instagram. If you guys aren't following me there, you should definitely. It's linked down below always. But I created a lot of little like quads, or I broke the shadows down into quads, and I thought that was a really fun way too to kind of map out color combos that I wanted to do, just get inspiration for looks and maybe inspire you guys to use those colors together as well. So like I said, this was a really great palette to work with. I thought it functioned really well day or night, and I'm a little bit sad to see it go, I'm not gonna lie. So now let's get into this month's palette. I have it in this marble AOA Studio large magnetic palette again. These are fantastic, you guys. If you're on a budget, grab these. I believe this was like $7, and it holds quite a few shadows. So here is the palette for this month. Oh, I'm so excited, you guys. I love the color story of this so much. This was also kind of inspired by another palette. It was inspired by the Lime Crime Venus XL2, I believe. I'll insert a picture of it like right here so you guys can see them side by side really quick. But I did kind of try to add my own little twist on it a little bit. I feel like mine is maybe a little bit more pinky, a little bit more intense. I feel like the shades in that one are very soft and very muted, which is absolutely beautiful, but I just kind of wanted to kick it up a notch. So as far as organization goes, I kind of kept the greens over here all together, and I tried to keep kind of the pinky tones together. The neutrals that I threw in this palette are kind of scattered throughout, but I'm okay with that. And then once again, I did throw in my Sydney Grace highlighter in the shade Golden Wonder because I so enjoyed having that in my last palette. I thought it was a really great way to get me to use this a little bit more because it is like a just the pan highlighter. I feel like I don't reach for it quite as much because I don't like pull out my Z palettes or my magnetic palettes every day. So yeah, I really want to throw that in here because it's a beautiful shade and I think it goes really well with this color story. So let's hop into swatches. Alright guys, so I'm going to swatch this palette out for you, and first we're going to kind of go by columns just so you guys know kind of what the order we're going with swatches, and I'm going to start with this column of shades right here. So I got all these swatched out and I realized that I swatched them in the wrong order that I had them in the palette, so I am sorry for that. This would be the first shade, this peachy one right here that was in the palette. This one is called Big Spoon and it was from their All I See Is Magic palette. I depotted it. This one is called Woke, and this is from ColourPop Chasing Rainbows. This one is called Pebbles, and this is just another ColourPop single. And then this one is also ColourPop, and this one is Thank You Next. So I really wanted this row to have a lot of peach, a lot of pink, some warmth, And I thought that would pair really, really nicely with not only the neutrals in this palette, but I thought it would be a fun twist with the greens. I managed to swatch these in the right order this time, thankfully. So this first shade is ColourPop Treat Yourself. This is from the All I See Is Magic palette as well. This I just included because I thought it would be a really, really, really great brow bone highlight for me, or inner corner highlight. This one is ColourPop Blurred Lines. This one's from the Chasing Rainbows palette. This one, again, could be popped in the inner corner or on the brow bone. This one is Urban Decay Fireball, and I'm not honestly entirely sure that I needed to include this one. This is just a single that I've had in my collection for kind of a long time, and I really wanted to get some more use out of it, so I threw it in here. We'll have to see if it's something that at the end of the month I feel is really essential to this palette, or if it's something that I could have skipped. And then finally, I threw in Looxi Dollface. I threw in this one mostly because of the gorgeous gold shift, and this does have some glitter in it. It's not super chunky, but it's a little bit chunky, glittery, but it's really, really pretty. This next row is obviously very neutral. This has a lot of my just kind of staple shades that I know I can use every single day. I'm finding that when I make these palettes, I don't usually make them without the intention of them being usable on an everyday basis for me. And that's no different with this palette. So this first shade right here is Wiggles. This is from the ColourPop Chasing Rainbows palette. It's just a really nice kind of almost peachy transition shade, but like a yellowy peachy, not quite so coral like the other one. This shade right here is ColourPop Pitter Patter. This one's from the All I See Is Magic palette. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous coppery shade. I would wear this all over my lid, smudge on the little lash line every single day. I think it's stunning. This one is Sydney Grace Heart and Soul, another shade that I would do that with. This one's just a little bit lighter, and it might be a little bit more work appropriate. I can see that this shade might get a little bit smoky. And then finally, we have Feeling It from the ColourPop Chasing Rainbows palette. This is just your everyday workhorse warm matte brown. So the next two rows, well, this row, I guess, only has 3 in it. This is kind of a continuation of the staple neutrals that I usually use, and then a little pop of green. This one right here is Made to Last from ColourPop. It's just a gorgeous taupey shade. I think it'll pair really well with the greens. This one is Boots from the Winky Luxe Kitten palette, this deep dark brown right here. Again, I think this will just add a lot of depth to a look and really anchor it. And then this one right over here is Looxi Beauty Moss. It's just a fun twist on the green. All the other greens that I have in this palette are shimmery or metallic, so I wanted to include a matte version too in case I wanted to use green to build up some depth. This is the final row of my palette. As you guys can see, this is where kind of the pops of green come in. This one right here is Playa from ColourPop. I thought this would be really fun to add some contrast on the lid or even to pop in the inner corner. This one is Bashful from ColourPop. I wanted to include a more muted green tone, because that's kind of the tones that the Lime Crime Venus XL2 palette does. I think that's what the one is called that I kind of drew inspiration for this palette from. And I thought this would be kind of an easier way to wear green if I wasn't really looking for like a bam in your face green look. This one is Tea Garden from ColourPop. You guys know I adore this shade. I try to use it whenever I can, and I thought it would be a good pairing with the neutrals in this palette. Not sure how well it'll pair with the pinks, but I guess we'll see how that works as the month goes on and I use this. Then finally is the highlighter that I included in the palette. This is from Sydney Grace and it is called Golden Wonder. I put this in here to use as a face highlight, as an inner corner highlight, as a brow bone highlight, on my eyes as eyeshadow, kind of just whatever. I just think it's gorgeous and I really wanted to throw it in. So now that you guys have seen those swatches and you're kind of getting a feel for the color story, I do want to get into a quick little tutorial that I filmed on this look I have on today. I actually did this a couple days ago and I posted on Instagram. I asked you guys if you want to see this as kind of my single shake up tutorial, because I do like to include a little tutorial in these videos to kind of show you guys my palette in action. I will definitely be doing more looks with this, but those will probably go on my Instagram, and then I will probably insert those looks into the next single shake up video. So let's hop into this tutorial. I am so happy with how this look came out, you guys. I feel like when I created it the first time, I was just like kind of feeling around in the dark. I didn't really have a plan for this look, but I love it so much. So let's hop into that. So here we're starting out with my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly, and I'm just taking this on my itty bitty Real Technique sponge and blending this across my eyelid just to really smooth out any texture or discoloration I may have. And then I'm taking Wiggles from ColourPop. It's from the Chasing Rainbow palette on a big old fluffy brush. I'm just going to use this to kind of lightly set my crease. Now I'm going in with the shade Big Spoon from ColourPop. This is from their All I See Is Magic palette, and I'm just taking this on kind of a floppy, fluffy brush and blending this through my crease and kind of winging it out. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Woke from the ColourPop Chasing Rainbows palette and that same brush, and I'm just going to kind of do the same thing with it. Now I'm going in with the shade Boots from Winky Lux, and I'm starting to pack this on my outer corner and create a little wing with this. I do love the winged eye shape, but I don't always love winged liner on myself, and I find that this is a really easy way to kind of create that winged out effect without having liner. Next, I'm going in with another shade from the ColourPop Chasing Rainbows palette, and this one is called Feeling It, and I'm taking this on a blending brush and just kind of buffing over that brown to buff out the edges and help it blend into that peachy coral shade. Now I'm going in with the shade Woke once again from ColourPop, and I'm just kind of blending that over where we put that brown so there are no harsh edges. I'm going to go in with Boots from Winky Lux one more time just to kind of re-intensify that, because in the blending process it did get blended away a little bit. Now I'm going to half cut my crease with my concealer. This one's from ColourPop, it's their No Filter concealer, and I just have the white shade right here. Oh, there I'm using Bashful from ColourPop, and I dropped it, obviously. I'm placing this on kind of the center of my lid and overlapping it with the brown just a little bit. Next I'm going in with Playa from ColourPop, and I'm trying to pack this on the inner part of my lid, but I feel like it didn't make a huge difference. Now I'm going in with the shade Tea Garden, and I'm just kind of smushing this right between the green and the brown just to help it transition a little bit smoother. Now I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Liquid Cast eyeshadow in the shade Pure Intentions, and I'm just doing this to kind of trace the edge of my cut crease just to sharpen it a little bit and add a little extra detail. Now I'm going in with the shade Big Spoon and Woke from ColourPop, and I'm just taking this on a Wet n Wild brush. I think this was their crease brush, and just really blowing that out under my lower lash line. And now I'm dipping into Boots with a more precise smudger brush and just really focusing this on like the outer third of my eye, connecting that up to that wing that we made on our upper lash line. Once again, just going in with that same brush and buffing those two out so we don't have any harsh lines. Next, I'm going to go in with Thank You Next, and I'm taking this on my e.l.f. small precision brush and really just smudging this on the inner half of my lower lash line just to add a little pop. Now I'm going in with the shade, I believe it's called Blurred Lines from the ColourPop Chasing Rainbows palette, and I'm just popping that on my inner corner. And next I'm going in with the shade Treat Yourself, also from ColourPop. I'm just popping this on my brow bone. And that is the completed look, you guys. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up this video. I really hope that you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am. I love shopping my stash. I love encouraging you guys to shop your stash. So I actually created a little interactive element to this video, you guys, because I love getting you involved. I love feeling like we're doing this together. And I created the hashtag Singles Shakeup. So that's obviously the name of this series. So what I would really love if you guys want to do this with me is if you could snap a quick picture of your singles palette for the month for whatever time period you want to do it for, either on your story or on your page, and then tag me in it. I would love to repost that on my story. I have a highlight on my Instagram page where I would love to display all of our singles palettes and all of our little singles creations so we can inspire each other to create new color combos and to really get use out of what we have. So that's going to wrap this video up for me, you guys. I am so excited to do this series. I'm so excited to update this month. I am just over the moon excited to dive into this palette even more. I'm just so excited to dig into this palette, and I hope that you guys are excited to see this series continue. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. I do tons and tons of Shop My Stash videos like this, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!